What's going on, guys? Happy Friday. And today on this SHOKY review, we're going to take a look at something, well, not going to lie, should have been done last week, but hey, I got the Zaku done first. So, we've got the HG Build Divers Galbaldy Rebake! It's KO-1's mobile suit. Koichi. I like to play on words there. Pretty cool. So, we have the really ridiculous Obari pose here, more or less, with the Rebake holding his giant hammer pliers. Gotta love that. All the weapons and blowing up stuff and explosions and green things going on in every direction. Gotta love it. You really do. And yeah, I've been waiting to do this one for a while now. And you got HG 1144 Koichi thingy Galbaldy Rebake. And then yeah, Bandai 2018 made in Japan. Bandai logo there. Build Divers logo up there in the corner. It looks very familiar. We see it all the time. And come to the bottom, you got actions. You've got knuckle guard. You've got hammer pliers. Good lord, that opens wide. And you've got a thing there where he's holding the stuff staring at you right there. And you've got large caliber howitzer. Yes, yes it is. And you got a thing about a shield, but it's talking about massive proportions, wide range of motions, the things. Shield. And you've got all the HG customized things you could ever want. Including some weird spinning blaster that we've never seen, and some other really strange weapons. Come to the other side, you've got Build Divers! And number 10. And you got BandaiHobby.net, Galbaldy Rebake, repeated box art, all the things. And you've got obligatory rear and front shot. It's very cool. Bulky looking suit. Though, I don't know why they have the shoulders like drooped. It just doesn't, it's like they didn't pose it that well, to be totally honest. And you got the Galbaldy Rebake read up right there. If you want to go ahead and read it, by all means, I'll leave it on screen here for a second. Pause it if you want to. And you've got Gundam BuildDivers.net. Technically this says -BD, but you know. And you've got 3-year-old don't like a Koichi in their face. That just sounded really strange, but hey, it's a rebake. Rebakes also hurt your eyes. And you've got Polybag, and you've got 2,200 yen. There's a whole lot of stuff in this box. That's why. And illustrated is by Koma, and the background is by Saito Yoshinobu. I've been so used to seeing stuff on other boxes lately. It's interesting to finally see another artist. You'll see what I mean coming up very soon. Even after being rebaked. Still upside down. Yay! Now this is one I kind of wish I had done a build montage for, but because I've been speed building, basically, no build montages lately. So let's go ahead and get right to it. Galbaldy Rebake. Alright guys, so here we have the Galbaldy Rebake out here and looking very prosthetic colored. I mean, I guess it's close to the screen accurate colors. I think it should be slightly, maybe a hair more yellow in it, but honestly, it's pretty dang cool. Like a big old unicorn horn. Has an enormous frickin' cannon on his back. Oh, and, you know, plier. Hammer. I've just got it here on the GP base. Or not GP base, the diver base, diver gear base, whatever. Because I haven't done a Build Divers review in a while, and I almost forgot to use it entirely. So, rebake. Usually, that signifies that, well, it's gone through a change. It's been rebaked. And that's clearly what has happened. But apparently, rebake makes you turn tan. It happened to Gujin, it happened to Galbaldy. Speaking of which, we'll go ahead and do the immediate comparison. So when I said before in this review that next week we'll be looking at a thing, what I meant was this was supposed to happen already. And of course, that just fell right over because I didn't have the knees locked. So the original Galbaldy that we looked at technically 2 weeks ago, it was actually a very good kit, very nice engineering, stuff like that. Most of that engineering does carry over to this, but obviously you see the major differences here. And of course, Koichi did start out with this, as we saw. It was actually his old suit back in his the battle days, before GBN was a thing. So it's pretty cool. I need to like lock my focus. It's been acting up lately. And major differences here, though very similar. The chest is similar, but of course totally different. Just has a kind of a callback here. But the this one does actually come with this chest entirely, as we saw in the thing. In fact, this comes with virtually everything for this kit, so it's almost possible to build a really weird tan-colored Galbaldy. The legs are virtually identical. The only thing that changes is the big back skirt of the leg. That's just an add-on part that you sandwich with these new knee parts. So these look the same, but they're not. They actually have a tab coming off the back to allow you to attach that. Feet are totally new and much larger because, well, he needs the extra balance, so let's just be honest. The forearms, while similar, are actually new. And the actual part in here is totally different. And this elbow joint scares the living daylights out of me because there's no polycaps there, and it's very, very tight. Gonna hope nothing goes wrong in this review, knock on wood. Yeah, but you can see the cannon on the back is legitimately about the same height as a standard Galbaldy. So that was a heck of an add-on that Koichi came up with. So done with that comparison for now. I have nowhere to put it. Alright, so this guy, not gonna lie to you guys, I went lazy. I used all the stickers, and honestly was not really troubled by them. The eye sticker right there is actually pretty well done. It would actually be very difficult to paint that in and clean it up properly. The stickers themselves lay in there very well if you just got a little push stick or a Q-tip, like pointy Q-tip to really lay things down. Works out perfectly fine. The sticker on the back of the head right there is actually fairly well decent. Covers very nice. The stickers for the shoulders, while they don't fit exactly, they're actually fairly well done. They're just a hair bigger than the slots they're going into. The one on the shield, also very similar. Panel line mostly in brown. Actually, I think it's panel line almost entirely in brown as you go around. I'm finding that my brown marker is a little wonky. After it sits for a little bit, it starts to spread out and turn reddish. You kind of see it there. I don't know what's up with that. It's really strange. It did the same thing on the shoulders here. So you can see down here is darker than up here. I don't know why. I don't know if something formulated weird with that brown marker or what. Did do a little gray in the vents on the knees and on the sides of the knee armor there. No big deal. The stickers inside the shoulders right there. I did one that's like really good. Like I think this one is one of the best ones. And then that one's actually pretty good. And then that one's pretty good. Sometimes they give you trouble. I gotta find the right way to lay it in there, and then it'll actually work very well. Engineering wise, it's very similar to the Galbaldy on itself. Has the same neck joint back in there, although it's a little bit different. So he can really move around. Can turkey neck with the best of them. I feel like I haven't done that in a little bit. The shoulders have the same pop-out butterfly gimmick, which is pretty awesome. And will probably come in handy when we try to dual wield the hammer. Once again, there's no polycaps. It's plastic on plastic. So the shoulder joints are very tight, which bothers me because it seems like down the line those will probably loosen up. The shield doesn't fit in very well. It's just got that little tab there, or that little hole there, and also I should have a gun, so maybe that should be painted gray or something. I'm going to take the shield off for now just to get it out of my way. You can move the shoulder up and down after you expand it, which is pretty cool. You can rotate that out like so, and you can turn the hand. And turning the elbow is a thing that you're going to have to work on. Oh, good God, that's scary. So you have a rotation joint here above the elbow and a rotation joint down here. The one down here is into a solid plastic piece. The one up here, I think, is into a solid plastic piece. But that will give you elbow articulation for the most part, which is at least limited by what's going on up here. These little bits inside the shoulders can move, but they're plastic on plastic, so you know it's up to you to determine whether or not you really want that to go anywhere. Back to the elbow. I have to make sure I turn that the right way, which I did not. If you notice, I'm trying to turn it at the elbow. Now, you can see right there, I don't have a very effective elbow joint. But that's because you needed to have that back for the shield. If you grab it there and rotate, you can get your elbow joint to come forward. There, of course, the wrist is a little wonky. So that's basically how this one is. But that is scary. It's plastic on plastic and it's very tight. The joint itself, fine. This part and this part where you have to rotate it, very tight and scary. You do get the ab crunch that like all the newer Gundams kind of have. So it's plugged in from the back into a little polycap ball joint there. So you can also rock side to side a little bit. You can ab crunch back and forth. Work it too much, it'll pop right out. You get a rotation joint so he can go all the way around in reality. The hip skirts are very nice. Flip forward, of course, all new skirtage here. These are the stock Galbaldy skirts. The back skirt is fixed in place. You can't do anything with that, but you do get a clip right here to hold the hammer. I'll show that off in a little bit. You do get the shimmy. No, there's not. Is there shimmy? Shimmy? Oh, they're tilty hips is what they are. So you can tilt the hips this way. There's not really a twisty shimmy way that's designed, but you got the hip rotation at the top. Sorry, thigh rotation up at the top. Can go virtually all the way around, but not quite. And can do a really nice Jean-Claude. Don't really need to on this particular suit, but hey, it is what it is. If you can get the skirt up high enough, which that seems to be about as high as I want to go, he can kick forward about that far. Can't kick back very far, but walking is not really a problem. You do get a double jointed knee, but your skirt armor is interfering with your butt armor. It ain't gonna go very far. Foot is articulated about the same as the original. So a little bit of kick forward, side to side rotation, and a little bit of turny-turniness, so he can get an okay wide-ish stance considering how big his legs are. I kind of wish they'd given him expressive hands, because this is kind of boring. Although you can get something going on right there. Now, of course, for weapons, he has two. The shield doesn't count. He does have the ridiculous cannon on the back, which I forgot to mention the stickers of it. Has the white stickers that wrap around right there, which actually are not too offensive. And if you put the joint part where the stickers come together inside the edge there, you'll probably never even remember that they're gone. Of course, you can absolutely paint that if you wish. I believe that to be a scope, but they didn't give you a sticker for that, but I don't know if it would need a red one or a green one. It is on a hinge, so he can shoot up and over his own shoulder, which we saw him do this at least once before. So he can give you a good poof firing sequence there, or he just leans forward a little bit and can angle it, and then he just shoots off and hits somebody a few miles away. That's actually very, very cool. Very, very powerful weapon. This thing would actually probably be cool in a different color scheme. Maybe like a desert camo, something like that. Now, the main weapon he does have is, of course, his hammer pliers. We'll get to those in just a second because I want to show off the little claw thingy. Yay! Doesn't matter. That is like the least important thing this thing does, and serves no real purpose. And I don't think you've ever even seen him punch anybody to use those. Hammer pliers. You do get white stickers to fill in all of those little gaps. Nothing wrong with that. You can paint it silver. You can go with the white stickers. Whatever you want to do. Once again, I was doing this quickly. And by the way, guys, this thing took me roughly 3 hours. Roughly. That's with the panel lining and putting it together. Putting it together went fairly quickly because I've built a Galbaldy before, and most of the actual build is, well, basically a Galbaldy build. Not a problem. The hammer pliers do seem a little bit flimsy. This is an incredibly slim piece here. It does hinge right in the middle, like you do. And he goes squeezy squeezy, where he cuts people in half, much like his predecessor. And you do get the hammer end for softening Gunpla. You got the spiky end for cutting them in half, kind of. And then if you really want to try, I stress this, I may not do this on camera, but I'm going to try. You can pull the shoulders out, do all the things. Try to pull this hand in. I know it can physically do this. I have yet to try. This is one of those things that I like to do for you guys first time so you can see the struggle. Because if I practice it and stuff like that and I'm good at it when I start it, then you guys won't really understand where the problems might lie. So we'll go ahead and open the pliers up. That's about as wide. Okay, there we go. I knew it could go open wider, but I hadn't done it yet. I guess I need to choke up on those a little bit there. Make my life easier. Go ahead and grab it by this handle. Put the hand back together. And bring it over. I've got it upside down, but I don't care. So basically, you can do this. Though that seems to be what the ultimate problem might be there. Yeah, because of the way it... By the way the action works, that's awkward. So they give you a cool kinked handle on that side, which I hope most of that was on camera. And then they give you a stable handle on that side that's straight up and down. That's kind of a pain in the butt, but you can do it. Actually, if you put it in the hands first and then kind of force it to open, it seems to work a little bit better. Though this guy should need, or should have, like an open hand. Maybe it's supposed to be vertical, not horizontal. Maybe that helps. Okay. Maybe that will help. We'll see. Nope, that's even worse. That's way worse. Undo it. Undo it again. Either way. So he can do the hammer pliers thing. That looks like he's riding a motorcycle, which actually is less offensive than what's happening on this side. So I guess I can't complain too much. Though this could probably be like back a bit. Bend that elbow up, and he's like doing it this way. It's so dumb. It should be a really, really cool thing. Maybe I'm doing it wrong. I don't know. Maybe I'll have to construct or consult the instructions. Construct the insultants. Can you tell I'm tired and I've been doing this all day? Well, I guess the good news is you can get it into this pose. Mostly. The handle doesn't seem long enough for it. Then again, if it isn't this side down, well, it's supposed to be that side down. I think it's awkward. Maybe rotate just a little bit at the hip, kick it back a little. It doesn't go down. It's like that's the thing. Is like the handle is not long enough to really tilt it. I mean, like I can really spread the legs out a little and kind of fake it, I guess. I don't know. It's awkward to say the least. And actually, considering it doesn't have the shoulder shrug that much. I mean, I like the kit. I like the design of the suit. Just some of the engineering is not very smart. Just it would have been better worked out with different arms. These arms are pretty restrictive, and everybody's gonna start screaming, "Should have been an IBO kit." Okay, fine, I get it. You wanted it to be an IBO thing. It's not an IBO thing. However, it is a Zeta thing. But we saw the comparison already to the Galbaldy it came from. We can bring in other build divers suits. So we can bring in a couple of enemies back here for comparison. There we go. And we can bring out his cohorts from the build divers. The 00 Ace Diver. Diver, Ace, whatever. The Momo Kapool. And, of course, the Cheese Master. So, I'm only missing one suit from the build divers themselves. It is out now, finally. So, we'll be picking up the Zero Maru sometime soon. It's just, I've been elbow deep in other kits and stuff like that, so build divers has taken a back seat. But, hey. There we go, so far. And I really do look forward to Zero Maru. I think that's probably going to be one of my favorites. But I got to get through all this first. Alright guys, so final thoughts wise, it's a cool kit. It has its issues. Some of the flexibility problems are a little wonky. Trying to get these arms into position just for this pose is ridiculous. Having to rotate parts. I'm trying to imitate one of the poses. It does look like I might... No, I got the hand right. And, yeah, I mean, it's crazy. And the thing is, like, he needs bigger heels or longer heels or something to really help balance it out. But I guess between the gun, the big hammer on the front, the huge toes, maybe it'll figure itself out. But it's cool. If you're a completionist, get it. If you want a cool custom version of a suit we've seen before, sort of, by all means, get it. Actually, it looks like I'm just trying to imitate this particular shot, and that shoulder does look like it's kinked back further. The shield mount on the arm kind of sucks. It's complicated trying to get the arms to work in unison. Otherwise, I don't know. It's cool looking. I wish it was a slightly different color than it is, but you know. It's not bad. It's not a bad representation. A lot of people are going to hate on it. I can hear the comments already. I do wish he could hold the hammer down low, but as far as I can tell, he doesn't do that. At least kit-wise, he doesn't do that. Seems like he wants to go for the high hammer look, so to speak, which is fine. But guys, I definitely recommend it, but just know you're getting into a little bit of a mess when you do. Actually, that's probably a better pose. I'm going to use that as the thumbnail when we get to it. But guys, go ahead and like this video. If you dig it, go ahead and hit that subscribe-ish button. We're over 3,100 now. It's looking pretty good. I think it was like 3,127 last time I looked. Let's see if we can get it higher. I do have Master Grade Monday to film, probably tomorrow or today, technically speaking, whichever time you're seeing this. It is what it is, and that'll be pretty good. And then I have to get finished with some other work involving a specific event that happens on this channel once a year. Teasers as always, guys. But go ahead and check out the Patreon if you want to do that. Help support the channel like John, Andy, and Steve do. And, of course, that all goes to keep things moving forward, as there have been some incredibly expensive months lately. And if you guys caught the vlog video of the toy hunt, the accidental toy hunt, on the SHOKY Review 2 channel, you saw that I've spent a little bit of money on some cool stuff that will be coming up in reviews sometime soon. And every little bit helps. Go check out the SHOKY shirts. Get a new subscriber shirt, by all means. All the links are in the description down below as usual. Also, guys, I made the announcement yesterday that I really want to start doing the Whip Wednesdays that will involve builds that you guys are working on. So make sure you send things either to the SHOKY Facebook or to my email address if you want to submit for Whip Wednesday. And there went the thing I was scared that was going to happen. The torso gave out. I knew that ball joint would give out if I pushed it a little too far. But either way, I'll catch you guys on the next review. Have a great weekend, and I will see you later. Remember, as always, to keep on building.